I've heard worse, to be honestly. I was always thinking, I was like, Poses and Moses doesn't
Where are
really
they going to
work.
go with this one? It could have been weird.
Eminem, that's fine. Crunch on the outside, nice and soft and.
Well, thank you to the talented analyst desk crew as well.
Absolutely, those guys really obviously carrying the caster through. Like Lauren put it out, of course, they definitely do their work. It's going to be trained to start things off here, and of course, big question marks here for Virtus.Pro and G2 on the up. See, the last match was a good one against Envy. And I think people are all struggling for reasons to want to back Virtus.Pro here now as we jump into the knife round.
They're just such like a staple and like a team that you want to root for, because they have all, I mean, especially with Counter-Strike, such a rich history. They have, you know, all these players that were dominant and had such compelling figures in the scene dating back to like 1.6 years and years ago. So everyone likes to see them do well, especially on a map like Train where they've always been good on. But G2 as a team has been so impressive lately with this, like just their improvements they've had where they looked like they were struggling when this team first came together. No one really knew where it was going to get. And now all of a sudden you have everyone on this team. RPK's hit a new level. Existence is fragging out like he's never done before. So we just love watching this team right now.
And obviously, you know, Existence, RPK, two players who often did raise the eyebrow a few times seeing them in their outings with Titan. It'll be Virtus.Pro starting on the T side. And it will be G2, of course, CT now. Pistols go. Armor being brought up here for G2. Just the smoke here for Scream. Resistance there going to be getting some spots out towards Pasha, who's already made his way forward somewhat. That's the first of probably a few smokes to come down here for Virtus.Pro. Some utility for them. I think it looks like A's the focus here.
Yeah, Existence loses that gamble a little bit. Even Scream is gooshed up a little bit, down to very low HP, but Smiths is being super mobile. His defense is holding so strong.
So Smith's Existence putting work in. Smith does see Taz around the corner, but Taz is the better of him in that one. Another one for the man as well. A player who has been a shining star when VP have been performing well. See if he can continue that one. Snacks is going to be bringing the back up, and he gets 2 for himself. And it's a good start here for Virtus.Pro on that T side. Got a sneaky plant to the end of the round.
Continuing aggression for Virtus.Pro on that outer train yard. They get the damage done early, but they don't find the kills, but they just keep pushing forward, keep pushing at it, surround that bomb train and take it over, and eventually the kills all go in their favor. So it looked like G2 was going to have that for just a moment before VP kind of turned the tides there, but you're right, it is Taz. I mean, he is kind of the heart and soul of this team at the moment. He's the one who's always just seems to stand strong and say, we're not losing this one. And actually, Neo gets tagged up here by Existence to start out with.
Got a Mac-10 in his hand right now as RPK's pushed up with the CZ, catches on to Neo but doesn't quite get the kill, and Snacks is there with the AK. Like Envy, Virtus.Pro will take 2 AKs on this second round. Bialy chimes in on towards Screen. It's just 2 left now. Shocks will meet Pasha in the connector. Smoke is starting to clear now with the bomb already down.
Tag, another tag. I mean, the VP members are so incredibly low. It's just there's not much really that the G2 members can do to get back in. There's so many angles they'll have to clear out. Oh. That's a sick shot from Smiths.
I need a few more of those as well. All he has to do really is hit Taz and Neo. Bialy as well will be in struggle town after a shot from that man, and Shocks will be working together with him. It does look like they back away here now as Virtus.Pro have the hold over that site. G2 would like to hold on to what they have so far. It's a molly for Shocks, remember armor for him, so there have been some investments here for the Frenchman.
Oh yeah, and they can drop over that Mac-10 as well in the next round, and Shocks will still have an upgraded pistol. Smiths will still have that scout, so another opportunity in the next round to do a little bit more damage. But this is Virtus.Pro coming out very, very swiftly, attacking that A bomb site. 2 rounds, trying to just kind of overrun and snowball here and just being hyper aggressive.
Last time these two teams played actually was, mid-November. It was actually Train during Stage 3 of Face It, and it was VP 62. I feel like the current squad of VP a far cry from that particular form, and credit to G2 as well, who have made improvements of their own here. VP still going with the Tech 9, of course, and the Mac-10 here, so not fully in towards those rifles yet, as Taz will again just be trying to lay some groundwork for another Virtus.Pro push forward. So far, so good here. Again, maybe some push towards Boiler here as well. Virtus.Pro peeling away from the normal A, and Shocks has had a flash come at him already.
Yeah, Shocks the armor of the Mac-10, going to play close up, see if he can get anything done with the huge firing rate of the Mac-10 could bail him out. Smith's at range of the scout, but so much pressure is about to be put on him. But G2 has the right read here. They've all rotated in towards the inner bomb site, and a tag onto Pasha. That was Smiths who finds the angle.
Yeah, Virtus.Pro have drawn a lot of players from G2 towards this B side. It looks like VP are here to stay for the moment. Shocks will wait around the corner, but he sees Taz, and the shot coming in towards him is good. He wants to find Neo on the bomb, but he's a sport for choice, and unfortunately that was his undoing. It's Smiths and RPK now. At least the latter manages to pick up that shot towards Neo. Bomb is down. 3v2. Bialy just clinging on to life, and Smith still has that scout, but he's shut down.
Yeah, and Snacks cleans out RPK there. So yeah, another round. It looked like Shocks was going to be able to stop the plan, maybe get a second kill, maybe give G2 a little bit of life, but VP holds on in the end. A little bit of damage done, not too much by G2 in that round. So here comes the bye. Not going to be able to afford an AWP on the CT side. Neo has one of his own. And this is actually a map that Neo's opping is actually very, very proficient. So many angles in that outer bomb site, and he's able to just lock one down at choice.
Would love to see him shine at this stage. Definitely important for Virtus.Pro just to hold things down and make some strong CT pushes in. At the moment, Neo thinking more about that B site here as Molotov has been thrown in. Doesn't really stop VP for the most part here. They're still set up. Maybe even push towards upper was just checked. 3 players now with the push, and you can see Smith is actually rotating through connector as well. So Shox and Smith at B. Smoke is up. Shox does see some shots coming in towards him. Is tagged up a little bit, but returns some fire on towards Taz.
Shox has used that angle in the past. I'm not sure if that's research by Taz or just knowing from practice, but Shox drops a smoke there and tries to look over the top edge of the smoke. And Taz just pre-fires it to force him back. So that's a good start. Neo misses that opening shot. Now it gets a little bit scary because Shox is going to get aggressive behind this.
Yeah, taking his time. The bomb is actually gravitated back, but Shox pushing on. Taz is able to shut him down, but the AWP already dropped here. Virtus.Pro lacking Neo in this round. Let's see Taz go and pick that one up for himself here. Smith's still set up on the side, and now Scream. He's the next man to step up. He rotates in through connector. And Taz still wants to make his push. Virtus.Pro playing for time here. 45 seconds on the clock, and Pasha is going to be joining him there from locker room.
Yeah, and this will be the execute now. There are 2 members of G2 here, but the entry is going to be all on Viali. Can he find it? There is one behind those spindles. They're going to have to clear that out.
And the flash came up though as well. Smith is going to jump around the corner. He's going to go for one. And he gets his second. Scream is there. Bomb dropped in front of Smith, and Scream could just close in on this one. Pasha, he's still up. He's got a Molotov and some armor. He's going to try and clean out those spindles here, but he's going to have a little bit more to worry about than just the one play there. It's Scream again, chimes in for his third, combining nicely there with Smith.
Yeah, Scream does such a good job behind that position, and that just locks everything down. But that initial push from Shox in the upper gets Neo. And Virtus.Pro didn't really have control of the map elsewhere. They were still very much confined to those white halls. They pretty much were forced into that inside bomb site hit. The only other option they had was just all of them rushing down ladder, splitting out towards that A bomb site, but couldn't make it work. So now they're on the save. Now Virtus.Pro has no money thanks to some of that damage done in the second and third round.
No inclination as well from VP, or at least Taz, to pick up the AWP and try and challenge for upper or check it. Left that one, and Taz had to try and make things happen on his own here. So again, the man in question moving through that shower block, and it's a slow move here from Virtus.Pro. You can see they've got 2 players sat right on back here. Hard to see where they decide to strike. We've got 4 players for G2R on A side right now, and Shox, you can see this deep push from him now. It's worked once. He caught off Neo. He's hoping for yet another one here. We may have it in a sec as Taz may present himself as a target in a few moments.
It all depends on if Taz is going to have the balls to walk right through the smoke, and he is, but Shox has turned around at the wrong moment. The timing might not work out. Shox adjusts, but can't get the kill. Nicely done from Taz. A lurk through the smoke. Now he's got an M4 to work with.
And see that the varying of pace here for Virtus.Pro. Taz far slower to go towards Boiler here in this round, and it's almost like he's dared Shox to come forward and try and establish a more aggressive position. Shox paying the price. Now the bomb being picked up here. It's in the hands of Neo. Might even head towards A unless VP do fancy B. Pasha being sat back in spawn still. I might even have connection problems here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's a crash, which is a little bit of a bummer because he would get no bonus money to the next round. So hopefully they tell G2 to go get the kill, just to be good sportsmen.
Well, Existence now. Been waiting for a target all round, but hasn't found it. Scream, though, does pick off Snacks as he comes through Ivy. Existence now. His time waited is paid off. He's got his second there as well. Going to jump down. Neo takes him out in midair, but Scream is going to be there. And yep, Virtus.Pro definitely need to find a solution for the dropped Pasha here at this stage. A bit unfortunate, but it's not the first time we've seen that for Virtus.Pro, that problem that they've suffered here. Opening moments here. I mean, obviously with the second round coming back for G2, Moses, any sort of initial thoughts here as well? Unfortunate to see Neo lose the AWP after just picking it up, but outside of that?
It is going to be, I mean, those fast outside plays to open up the half, it kind of gives that indication. That's something that Virtus.Pro loves to do, and they're very, very good at making sure they can push down all those all those lanes towards behind the bomb train. And if they can continue to do that, if they can have some success, I mean, it really is. It sounds like a broken record at times on this map, but you have to be able to keep at least Molotovs out of the hands of the counter-terrorists. You have to be able to prevent those, so because that opens up your fast plays, it opens up a little bit more slow plays. You can play the clock a little bit more, but when the counter-terrorists get those Molotovs, it just gets so much more difficult in every aspect of your terrorist side. So I would expect VP to just come out, be a little bit aggressive. I doubt that. I imagine they're going to buy even with Neo at such low money. It would depend on what Pasha's is in when he gets back, but expect some kind of I would say an outer play. It's been the bread and butter for VP for so long.
Yeah, really just slowed down on that last round. Working on outer. Didn't really manage to get much from it there. Pushing towards Ivy didn't yield any results here. And maybe Kinguin might be stepping in here. Pasha clearly having left us for whatever reason. We can only conject that it is a bit of a disconnect for him at this stage. But, well, it is, yeah. Production has just informed me of that one here as well. So, I mean, Virtus.Pro, not a good time for anything really to go wrong here. The road home, as it were, in the Pro League for them now is still a rocky one. Of course, they've got a few important games to pick up. I don't think they've played Flipside yet, so they might be able to pick themselves up something there as well. But
yeah, well, I mean, they're not playing for any kind of postseason whatsoever. They're pretty much already out of that. It's all about avoiding that automatic relegation. That is such a heartbreak to be in, especially, like they mentioned on the desk, a team like Virtus.Pro, if they get auto-relegated, that's just makes you want to cry a little bit. It's a little bit sad to see them in that situation when they've been such an effective team, such a strong team for so long. So really, they just need to play to get, in that second to last, third to last spot before the end of the season.
The decline of an esports dynasty in that Virtus.Pro team, of course, it would be sad to see. And, and they were saying on the desk, we don't really know why some of these things are happening. We don't really know why these games are being lost or these maps are being picked from Virtus.Pro here. I'm sure a lot of people are being sought out to maybe answer some of these questions here, but ultimately, Virtus.Pro are the only ones that are going to be able to find the true answers here.
Well, it seems at this point to just be like a full lack of confidence. Also, these issues have been around for a while. We've seen them even towards like the last 3 months of last year. This team in huge decline, but they had Snacks playing at like an unbelievable level.
Yep.
He was doing it so consistently that it really masked those problems. So now that he's having a little, maybe not a slump, but he's just not hitting that God mode that he was towards the end of last year. Now we're starting to see kind of the repercussions of just how far they've actually slid, because Snacks was the one who was keeping that from being very, very apparent.
Snacks spinning his tyres, you're bound to burn out eventually there as well. And G2 on the other side of things, so far in this game, I mean, I don't really draw too much from it here as well, but again, some of those names we saw rise and fall of course, RBK, Existence, who household names, especially for the Frenchman. But last season for them, for Titan, I mean, very much up and down. We saw them obviously clinch some important games against teams, even like NIP, who were themselves very up and down. And I mean, we've seen a big decline from NIP in the past. Now, online, at least in the Pro League so far, things are looking up for them, despite some games being won for them over dubious circumstances here. But they can be happy with where they are.
Yeah, and they can just be very positive about the improvement that they've made recently. They look so much better. Even at Barcelona, we saw them, and they were just an incredible, surprised everyone, even like not doing amazing, but they got third, I think, there, third or fourth. But they were just a really cool team to watch, and now you're starting to see all these pieces come together where RPK stepping up, hit a new level Existence, adding in some fragging power as well. Smiths, with his AWP, has been much more effective than we've seen him in the past. Even Scream, who, for a time, he's always been known as that like sick aimer, that headshot machine, but he was always considered to be like relatively one-dimensional. Now he's come into this, and he's worked on aspects of his game over the past year or so, and now he's being a very effective player. So it's at the point now where when this team first formed, everyone is just kind of like, all right, Shox needs to go God mode every game for this team to do anything, but he doesn't have to anymore because everyone else around him has become a better player.
And for G2, this is definitely the first time that they've really encountered Virtus.Pro on this particular map in quite some time. So, well, in fact, in general. So, they would have done their homework. They would have been, wondering, seeing the blood in the water, I guess, from Virtus.Pro, maybe thinking, okay, what can we get away with? What can we sort of avoid doing here? I mean, Train to start things off, of course, which has been pretty good for G2 in the past, but then Overpass being our second map, which honestly not so stellar. I mean, the last time we saw G2 play, and the last 2 times they've lost to Mousesports and Fnatic in that particular order. So, we've seen Mousesports, we've seen their ups and their downs as well. So,
yeah,
concerning signs there as well. I mean, but there are quite a few teams that don't favour Overpass. I think Envy is one of them who just avoid Overpass at absolutely all costs. But of course, there ain't no banning in the ESL Pro League. Guess who's back?
Yeah, here he is. The attaboy Pasha. Get back on that horse. And he does not have a lot of money. They're going to buy anyways, though. So that was kind of the question. So he's going to have a Deagle. Snacks, I believe, has a gun dropped to him. Yep, he has an AK-47 that he picks up right at the end. So pretty decent buy out of Virtus.Pro. They're a little bit light on utility, but they can, they can rely on 3 AK-47s. It's AWP on Neo if he wants to get a bit aggressive, try and find something for him. But the only issue is because of these low nades, tactically they're very constrained in this round.
G2 have a lot of ability to stall out here as well. So Virtus.Pro trying to look for some openings, but Smith will cut down Pasha biceps. And Taz at least has managed to make an opening here towards his B side. There's actually no one here for G2, so it's quick rotations. Existence will be the first man up to the plate, but this is already going to be a bomb plant. Quick as you like. Neo there picks off Existence as he comes across. It's mildly flashed. He's going to be able to pick that one up here. It's a good opening for VP now to hold.
Yeah, and they absolutely have to hold this. This is really nice success out of them. Neo, that's his strength. Just grab the angle, sit and wait. He doesn't miss many shots. He's not the aggressive opper, but when he's sitting far back and just has the angle, should be all easy from there. And actually, G2's already called for the save.
Yeah.
Smith is the last one sticking around towards CT spawn. Slowly going to work his way out. But a good round for VP. That's going to get him their 4th. The money's a little bit light on the G2 side, but because they're saving so many weapons, they'll be fine into the next one. Smith should be able to drop at least a FAMAS over to existence, and Shox will be able to buy the M4.
So maybe a error in resource allocation here for G2. They left such a light hold over on B side, but again, we saw Envy being punished by putting 2 players constantly there. So you can see where players are wanting, or teams wanting to wait their players, but Virtus.Pro just exploited that quite heavily last round.
And it's important to exploit that early on, because now in the moving forward into the future, G2 is going to think twice about just leaving Shox there all alone for some time, especially with how aggressive Shox likes to play at that lower ramp at times. Yep. Likes to get a little bit creative, and if he continues to fall there, that's going to open up so many opportunities for Virtus.Pro. If they continue to punish it, then it opens up a weakness on the outer bomb site.
Again, it's just Shox over at B this time as well. So no one from G2 gravitating any more over towards that B side of Virtus.Pro. Look like they do want to attempt things at A here. Existence actually making a pretty aggressive push up here. 5-7, and there's smoke in his way. Bit of a nade to come out, and Snax has already sort of absconded. He's left a bit of space there for himself, and Smiths wants to peek towards long here as well. He just missed the model. Pasha there as well. He's going to pick him. Cheeky little flick down towards the body, and that will be the end of Pasha. 2 very, very quiet rounds from that man. Oh, probably exhausted from flipping his table over trying to get his PC fixed.
Oh, Existence gets Molotov'd out of his spot. And Flashbang and Smoke is going to buy him a little bit of time, but he's got to get creative in how he wants to hold this. Snax doesn't commit to anything. This is all a ruse. Bialy, Taz, and Neo are going to hit this inner bomb site. Scream and Shox are here to hold it, though.
Interesting, Scream's actually rotated, despite Virtus.Pro, over towards A, but now here's the push. Shox picks up Bialy first, and Scream's going to be there as well, but Shox may not need him at this stage. Neo chimes in. Smith hits the deck. Neo with his 2nd there as well. Very important to make the entry in. It's a flash for Scream. Not going to capitalize at this stage and sit back as RPK will establish himself towards the back of B here. No plan yet for Virtus.Pro. They're going to need to get a couple more picks, and Neo will acquiesce. Existence goes down, looking for another one here as well, but RPK able to shut him down. And now Scream and RPK 2v1 on Snax.
Oh, he's got himself in such a good position, but that shot gives him up. Now he's made his way towards the A bomb site, though. He's got this defense. They rotate over, and now they've been fooled, so he's at least going to get a plan about this. He's got to be careful. Scream's about to come down the ladder. And is he going to be aware of it in time? And he is.
Yeah, Snax at least get behind E-Box there as well. Sees the little peek there from Scream. He's going to wait for RPK at least so they can get some sort of crossfire peak scenario. And Snax has to find a safe position. This ain't bad, at least. Got this 2v1 down into 2 1v1s with the bomb ticking. It's all going to be a bonus for Snax here. Got to be careful, though, as RPK might be working on his periphery here, and Scream as well trying to work the other side. Was that a glimpse of Snax? We can't be sure, but Snax will take down RPK. The bomb still ticks down. Snax as well, looking for his next victim. Scream is there, gives it a tickle, backs away, and that's a perfect bait there from Snax. He's just kept Scream on his toes. He won't be able to get the finish. That's good enough for VP.
Perfect play from Snax. That movement in the 1-on-2 situation is so amazing. It buys so much time for him, and then all he has to do is get that 1 kill, and he's got a huge advantage. Such a cool play.
And there was a moment there as well where it looked like he considered staying. He considered staying towards B or trying to press the advantage. But all of a sudden, it's like it occurred to him in a flash of light, an epiphany. Let's just go away. Flashed himself on out there, planted it down. Of course, with the carriages there, you can set things up quite nicely in a clutch situation at A. And Virtus.Pro do go into the 8th with 5 rounds on the board. It's been a pretty decent B-side from them right now. Might be repeating history, even if it was 4 months ago. Neo opens up the account.
And yeah, Pasha gets one more. This is just going to start getting brutal, although RPK finds something. Neo with his op has been so effective in these last 2 rounds. He's really what opened the door up for Snax to have such an incredible 1-on-2. He gets 3 kills towards the inner site when they just seem like they're locked out of everything. Now look at this. VP has G2 completely confused again. They relocate to the inner bomb site. They're being a little bit slow in hitting it, so this has actually allowed Shox to at least get here to mount some kind of defense, but once again, it's all a fake.
Virtus.Pro don't really seem to mind rotating back and forth between these two. Taz better watch his left, and Scream picks out, gets on towards Snax, and now Taz just has to spray down and pray. RPK, though, responds, picks him up, gets his 2nd as well. Good hold from G2 over on A. Neo has been spotted. He's going to try and somehow create something here. Behind E-Box, he's got the bomb. I'm looking for a pick. 2v1 again. VP, I have to repeat the feat of the last round of Snax.
Yeah, it is Neo who's very, very strong in these situations. Picking up the AK-47. Now he spots 1.
Cheeky.
Should know there are 2 here, and he actually goes for the fight, but Shox trades it off perfectly.
maybe hoping for a little bit more value from that grenade being thrown out there as well. Obviously late in the round can be super deadly, but Virtus.Pro still, despite not winning the round, they are making it hard for G2 to build up any sort of bank here. Of course, coming up, SK and FaZe should be an interesting one between those two. Still got plenty to go here.
I think VP that round just got a little bit too fancy for themselves. If they had just stuck with that inner bomb site hit, which turned into a fake, they only had shocks there, and obviously they can't know that. But they do it. It's almost like a double fake, and that just didn't work out for their favor. They came out a little bit haphazard, and they were able to give some G2 players some easy kills, maybe a double kill here and there to thin the herd a bit.
When they drop the bomb behind E-Box, things can get a little bit dicey if you have to play that recovery scenario here. And Virtus.Pro want to establish a bit of a set play here as well. Pasha snacks Bialy on the outside, going to be throwing smokes in towards the middle there, and Taz doing good work on the ground. Existence has already fallen here. Scream will push up. He's been quite heavily flashed here. Oh my god, it's a blind leading the blind, but Scream gets both. That aim again coming out in famous form. The spray down towards Snacks, and obviously VP don't have a lot to work with in this round. We're hoping to make something happen with the smokes, but Scream coming forward gets himself a brace of kills.
Hoping to make something happen with a light investment, trying to do some damage and keep that money down low because they're in a double save situation. And again, now this is just going to be tough for Virtus.Pro because G2 through this time is going to be able to build up their money. That play from Scream just kind of ensures that they're not going to take too many losses. And now more money is going to build up on the CT side. So it's getting a little bit scary for Virtus.Pro. They're already at 5, which is a good thing. If they get 1 or 2 more rounds, they're going to be very happy with this T side.
First few rounds will be very, very telling on the next side. It's Taz getting tagged up pretty heavily there by the Molotov being thrown in. G2 loving using those up here as well, just to stall and do some damage. And again, their hold here is going to be pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, well, what can you say about that one? Just a slaughter as they come out. So now it's just 1 left. Snacks falls. But this is the big round. This is the reason they saved. And they still, I mean, despite, you know, a half buy or a small investment and then a full save, essentially, they're still not going to have an AWP. So this might open Virtus.Pro up to have a little bit of a faster tactic, switch the pace towards that outer bomb site, maybe catch G2 off guard. It'll be interesting to see if they go for one of those, you know, their patented outer hits that is just so swift, so aggressive. They don't have any, they have a couple Molotovs. They have 2 Molotovs to use to block off some of the backs of these trains, but right off the bat, they take it a little bit slow.
We've got 2 players from G2 actually pushing up here, Shocks and Scream. So 2 players establishing fairly forward positions up in Boiler here. Shocks might be setting up for the pop flash here in just a moment as he's trying to hear out if Virtus.Pro are going to hit B, but they're not actually. They're sitting well back. Not for the moment at least. Bialy will be joining in just a moment. Not going for a fast B like we've seen before. That maybe could have been one way they were looking to utilize Neo to shove people down out of Boiler, but not the plan this time. Flash is coming out here as well. Bit of attention towards that B side, the A side, sorry, as VP make the rotation. Screams pushed up, finds nothing. And VP going to make the move here as well. We see Existence up and towards Heaven, picks up Neo, but he's caught on the ladder. And as Pasha kills being traded in, Scream gets 2 here and he's going to be caught out.
Existence and RPK play that really well, very passively, allowing this flank to come into play, and their shocks just crushing the hopes and dreams of Pasha, who wanted to get out, and now Taz is stuck in a crossfire. This is going to be brutal, and Smith just takes it away. So nice round from G2. That push turned into a quick flank and just slaughters everything. Virtus.Pro, their entire plan ruined by that 1 push. Tough to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, Neo wasn't able to do anything at all with the AK in that round.
I mean, it just all comes down to the fact that the passive play out of Existence and RPK is just so well done because Virtus.Pro has to commit through their own smoke. They're not finding any kills. They don't feel safe planting the bomb. And then that flank just pounces on him at the right moment. It was so perfect.
Yeah, we saw Scream get himself very, very quickly down Pop Dog and into the fight. Haven't seen that too much from G2, that aggressive push forward. This round, actually, Scream is actually still at B. Not so far forward as Smith's with the AWP in hand. He's definitely looking towards Pop Dog, and you can see the X-ray of the VP players huddled. They're using the Molotov as warmth, but they're not going to be making any passage out towards A at this stage. No grenades left, if there were any to start with. Some armor on 3 players here, but working with very, very little here, and G2 just want to squash the game.
Yeah, it should be pretty easy. Smith gets 1, Existence the other, and Smith's just still raining havoc. The 2 of them trading kills, so that's a nice shot from Neo. Going to be able to salvage the op, so no big deal. And through this, G2 is starting to build up a massive amount of money behind these wins. Smith, before he buys anything, is up around 10,000. Shocks is at 7,400. I mean, they're going to be able to buy multiple rounds in a row before they're forced onto a save. So VP, going into these last 3 rounds of the half, have a monumental task ahead of them. Yeah,
3 rounds to go for the half, and G2 are going to be resilient, having made some of that bank here. Neo with an AWP back in his hand here, and Virtus.Pro with 4 Molotovs of their own to work with. So we'll have to see how they want to employ those. It's RPK set himself up here. Pasha always making the peak. He does manage to bounce across as Smith has missed it. You can see 2 players here. Smith kind of smoking himself up there. Pasha going towards RPK. Could have been a bit of a bum smoke there. I'm not sure. Because now Smith has to retreat through his own smoke. It's Neo with the orb. He's looking for a shot, but nice little pig. I'll shave a fair bit of health off that man. Scream just tries to keep himself alive for now.
Yeah, and then he commits to a fight, working that very well. Does find one. Pasha on Alley this round has been a monster. 2 kills for him. That's his job is done. Bomb is still down in between the trains, but there's Neo still being effective with that AWP. And now over a minute left on the clock, and VP can just sit and wait for any information to be gathered by Shock, see if they can spot out his positioning. And actually, I don't think Bialy spotted him here.
No, Shox definitely knows where he is right now, and he does take down Neo. The bomb over on the A site there in the hands of Bialy here. So still not certain about how I go about this one. With 50 seconds left in the round, it's Shox awaiting in the wings. He set himself back up towards CT spawn here. He'll have time to respond to anything again. He did see Bialy towards A, so he has to maybe assume that there is some lurking going on from the last VP player, and he wouldn't be wrong. An important chance here for Virtus.Pro to bring a round back. It's still a kit for Shox here as well, so he's very well equipped to deal with this situation. Bialy still with 2 flashes to work with. That is important. Now he's just been spotted again. Shox sees him, doesn't get any damage across. Now Bialy wants to take the challenge. He's gone to 25 points of health. A very crucial little passage of play coming up here for Virtus.Pro, which Shox is going to be too good. Bialy had a lot hanging on his shoulders there. Unfortunately, not able to bring it out in the end.
Yeah, the timing doesn't work out in his favor. I'm not sure why he went back for that second peek, though. He could have ran into the inner bomb site and just got the bomb down. That was a fight that he has no advantages in, especially after he's already been tagged down pretty low. So he could have just gotten to the inner bomb site, used the bomb as a teammate, and try and play the post plant.
Yep.
But a good clutch from Shox in a 1-on-2. The timing doesn't allow Bialy to spot him initially in connector. That gives him a free kill onto Neo. But either way, just more hopelessness for Virtus.Pro fans here.
I mean, if he was Snacks, he might have actually gone to the side here. You can see the different proclivities there. Bialy pushing straight out of Pop Dog, gets one, and Scream not able to hold the tide of Virtus.Pro pushing forward. Taj gets heavily flashed, but he's going to make the kill anyway. This man now is starting to activate as he pushes himself to A. It's RPK last to fall. Smiths and Shox now the boost here. Shox can get the peek over, but Taz again too good. 3 kills for the man right now. He's holding like a beast, and Smith's got to get the heck out of Dodge.
There is like this moment in Taz when he just seems to snap as a player and just be like, all right, I'm done. I'm not losing this. We're going to get this round. And he goes out and he gets triple kills, 4 kills, just like every time that point hits. Happens again here. Sick entries. Bialy gives him the opening by just that first kill coming through the smoke, surprising G2. But it's all Taz from there. Now Smith has to try and save this, but Snacks with a knife is not going to get it. Smith no-scopes him.
Well, like you say, when the going gets tough, Virtus.Pro definitely like to get up in the face of the enemy, but the knife not going to work out there. Maybe underestimating the amount of health there. Neo is going to pick up Smiths here. Maybe more costly round for Virtus.Pro than it had to be. But heading, of course, into the last round of the half, providing they have enough money to buy, it's not a big deal. That's the question, though. Pasha, I don't know what he's going to be working with here. I don't actually think he's been able to go towards an AK. This is Snarks trying but failing there. Smith just nails him to the wall there at point blank.
So close.
The audacity is real.
It's worth it. Worth it to just embarrass your opponent.
That's right.
Would have been beautiful. Now it's looking like we're going to have an inner rush from Virtus.Pro. Shox is the only one in here. A lot of pressure put on him so far. He's got it smoked off, though, and I don't think he realizes the extent to which Virtus.Pro is committed towards this inner bomb site right now, or else he'd be calling for a faster rotate. Lucky that Virtus.Pro slows down. They don't want to go through that smoke.
Enough time for Smiths actually to rotate to B now. So 2 players towards upper here, Neo being the foremost of those. Double smoke towards lower. That'll slow up Bialy and Taz, but it won't slow up Neo. He comes around the corner, does pick up Smiths, and there's one more player left on that side, but Shox is protected for the most part, and that's going to work out for him quite nicely. Snacks and Bialy fall. Neo is eventually going to be able to trade in, but precious seconds have been bought for G2. Scream is on site. He does what he does best. The head of Taz goes flying. It's a 3v2 situation. Neo takes down Scream. Now the 2v2, but RPK trading this one in. It's a grind. The nose is on the grindstone, but Pasha picks up RPK. He's got the bomb. He makes maybe the clever decision to get out and head to A.
Neo's a beast right now. 3 kills. That's so incredible. The shots that he's hitting, the position he's put in. Now Pasha, he did see existence towards the inner site, and he thinks he's already rotated over, so he's taking this a little bit more cautiously, and even more so, going to use the Molotov, going to give up his position just to make sure that existence can't push him while he gets that bomb down. Now it's up to him to find good post plant. He's going to be a little bit exposed from outback, but he's going to get into cover of train just in time.
Pasha having a frustrating few rounds trying to work long in Ivy now. Of course, getting his chance to find his way towards the highlight reel here. It's a pop flash in. It's just to delay existence here as he's going to push forward, but he doesn't know where Pasha is. He has to assume he's on this side, but Pasha will be ready. You've seen a glimpse of him as well. Virtus.Pro potential 7th round here lurking for them as Pasha hears the sound of the defuse and he finishes it off. Nicely done there as well from a player who had dropped and had to reconnect. 7 to 8 halftime for VP. You said, Moses, earlier on, if they can get sort of 5-6 rounds, looking pretty good.
Yeah, they're going to be happy with this, absolutely. They could have gotten a little bit more. There were a couple of rounds that got away from it. You know, think of that 1-on-2 that Shocks wins. But overall, a good half against a team that's been playing very well, G2 lately. So Virtus.Pro puts up some numbers. This is kind of that map, this an overpass where we say, you know, they've always been really strong maps for Virtus.Pro. These are going to be the maps that during this slump they'll perform best on. So this is a map they absolutely have to win. They need to start gaining some wins in this league, so they're not going to be in that relegation.
I mean, and the league format as well is one that can expose the weaknesses of teams as well.
Yeah.
You don't obviously get to ban away and veto for your favourite maps here. So Virtus.Pro will be looking towards maps like Train and maps like Overpass to bring them through here. It's just going to be a little bit harder to do under these circumstances. But so far, they've shown up. 7 rounds on the T side, can't complain at all. And now G2 are hoping to break back on their own T side here as well. But we'll see how this all works out, and we'll see if I can see Neo really start to establish more than just AWPing. Of course, his late round situations weren't ideal in that first half. Let's see if he can develop on that.
Heavy presence outside for Virtus.Pro. Here comes the hit. Neo just trying to grab some shots through the smoke, but there's still so many members right outside alley. This is a good defense.
Well, Bialy going to peek a little bit too far forward, actually. Does take a little bit of hits, but there's Smith downs towards 1. He's finally picked up, dispatched by Bialy. Scream and Shocks. Scream gets his second there as well. VP, Moses, I saw you shake your head. They kind of had a setup there as well, but it looks like they've just been mowed over for the most part.
Yeah, Bialy gets cleaned out there. But yeah, that many bodies at the train lane, and none of them are actually peeking down it. They take a fight when these Glocks are so close up. You've given up advantage of the range of the CT pistols. So just a little bit confusing why these Virtus.Pro members weren't more aggressive, peering down the lanes, trying to find some kills early on, kind of stave off the brunt of the attack and then just outlast them in the end. Instead, G2 gets close up and they just wipe them all out.
Bialy peeking out so far. It's like trying to hit a barn door at close range. Not that hard. G2, of course, will get that pistol there. Shocks going for the AK. A little bit interesting here. We've seen 2 Tech 9s and it's the MP7's being picked up here for G2. So they're going to go for SMGs. Let's see if it works out. Pasha tries to hold. The deagle coming up strong. Smith's head goes rolling. And the smoke up going to buy him precious seconds here. Great combination here. The crossfire from Snacks is going to help out Bialy. VP holding strong for now. And G2 starting to worry a little bit here. At least Scream can poke out. Get that 1 kill. Pasha maybe just wasn't ready for it. Here's 3 players for Virtus.Pro stacking on towards these tunnels. And Neo sat on the side.
Yeah, and there's Shocks finally coming into play with that AK-47. Finds one. That's going to make Virtus.Pro a little bit nervous. But these Deagles acting like scouts a little bit. One tag from one player can get cleaned out by another tag from the other. So really well done from them so far, but Shocks just finally in the game with 100 HP. They've got to deal with him.
Snacks pushing up towards Evox, but Existence is there. The Tech 9 to shut him down. 2 players left here for Virtus.Pro, and Scream and Existence are quite low here. A couple well-placed shots will be the difference here as Bialy just trying to skirt back and forth around Radioactive. You can't see Shocks behind that E-box. Bomb not planted yet. That's in the hands of Scream, and it looks like it's heading B, albeit fairly late. Maybe even down Pop Dog of Scream. Yep, he will come towards A. So Taz, patience being a virtue here at this stage. We've seen what Taz can do when you let him off the leash. Peek around the corner, picks up Chox. He's looking for another one, but Scream was ready. A little bit quick of a re-peek perhaps as Bialy now locked in that 2v1, but still, Scream and Existence, not the healthiest bunch of blokes.
Yeah, Bialy, this is going to be so tough, and now Existence is getting up above. He should be aware of this just based on the position. Here's the window break, gets a tag. But still, this is such a tough spot. Scream's got himself in a good position. Bialy's trying to find these one-on-ones. No armor. The aim punch ruins him. Existence does win that in the end, but so much damage dealt. And actually, G2 can't even salvage the AK-47 that was dropped.
Is that buy last round for G2 a bit greedy in your opinion?
No, I mean, it's pretty standard. 5 Deagles, though, from Virtus.Pro using the range. This is the other thing. G2 goes towards Ivy, which allows for those close range battles as well. They can't use the range of that AK-47. Shocks is a little bit late getting involved in the party, so they just get punished. Some nice shots from Pasha to slow things down immediately with that first kill. Just, I mean, G2 just had to outlast him there.
Well, VP eventually getting ground out here, but Pasha going to make a little bit of a peek here towards Shocks, who's going to go quite low from that one. It's the trade. Bialy gets on towards Existence, but Scream again continuing to consistently pick up kills. Snacks gets himself an MP7 as well, and that will come in very helpful. As RPK is going to round the corner, looking at him with the AK-47. He will get the job done easily enough. Took no damage whatsoever. And now it's just Taz and Pasha. No armor, no utility. Not a lot really to work with for those two here, and it might just be another concession round for VP.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason for them not to go for a kill or two. See if you can do a little bit more damage. Doubtful that Screamer and RPK are going to let him, salvage an AK-47. Those two shouldn't put themselves in too much danger in this round. But Virtus.Pro at some point is going to blow up and just try and find one more kill just to force a rebuy of the armor, some nades, things of that nature. But either way, G2's going to be up 11-7. There's that kill from Taz. Swings out nicely, baits Pasha perfectly. Just at SMG, though. And even Shocks. Actually, Scream is, for some reason, getting a little bit aggressive. This actually could be dangerous, because Scream's all alone. Now, Taz might not expect this angle.
I don't think he was at all. Scream is able to put a venerable amount of damage down towards Taz, who'd love to save the MP7s for as long as he possibly can. And it looks like Scream watching the angle again. Taz challenge. This one, it will be eventually gunned down. Scream really having an excellent second half here as well. I mean, well, the whole game, to be fair, 24-8, I think it is, for the man. And now VP get the bye. This is when the rubber hits the road here. Is a bit of an average start, but we can accept that after having them lost the pistol.
Well, this is the scary part. Virtus.Pro down 7-11. If they're light on utility, and if G2 can win this and gain an advantage of the economy at least for another round before that losing bonus builds up, VP's going to be in such a tough spot where they have no more mistakes to give up on their CT side. So this is actually very, very crucial for Virtus.Pro to win. Taz, he's going to have pressure put on him, uses all his utility. Smoke and Molotov come down. A minute and a half left in this round.
Very, very early from Taz here. I don't really know what the queue has been for him. As we're only just now seeing G2 establish some sort of presence at Boiler, and I mean, they might not even commit to that. They've got two towards Pop Dog, and Bialy will be waiting as they come down. The flash is going to be a bit rough, but the smoke is at least able to let him escape. He's looking for cover. He's out in the open a bit here as well, and he will get some, but it was forced out of a good position to catch G2 by surprise. Still gets one, though.
Yeah, smart from G2. Put that pressure, use the utility inner bomb site, now swing out towards outside, and they're just winning every duel presented to them. Snacks has even got to come through the Molotov. He catches Scream off guard, but he's only got 25 HP. Not enough to outlast, and so much is put on Taz here in a 1-on-3. Gonna find a kill on the Shocks. Does get it in the end. This is winnable as RPK is very, very low.
Flash for existence here as well. I don't know if he'll try and use that to secure Taz. It's pretty obvious for G2 exactly where Taz is. He's set up on towards the site. And it is very, very annoying to be in a 1v2 situation here. Taz has to go hunting, but the Tasmanian Devil of old. And in fact, it looks like he's going to avoid extinction, unlike his namesake. RPK goes down. Going to challenge here as well towards Existence. Existence just going to stick around. He knows he's played time well. Taz with 15 points of health has to accept his fate here. Existence just going to cheekily creep away.
Yeah, nice play from Existence. Don't commit to that fight. Taz almost makes it work. 2 kills in the 1-on-3. Not enough time to chase down the kill. No kit as well. So G2, they grab a huge advantage in this map up, and it looks like they could just run away with it. There's going to be one more buy for Virtus.Pro, not this round, but the next, where they have a chance to get back on the board, and then they just have to rattle rounds off.
Yeah, I mean, where they sat at halftime, you're thinking, yeah, this is pretty darn good, but unfortunately losing the pistol, never ideal when you're behind the 8-ball, and then that first gun round being so underwhelming for Virtus.Pro. They just starting to frown.
Yeah, they just didn't have a lot of utility, and that's the thing. That's why you said what was the cue for Taz. It was just the footsteps, the amount of footsteps he hears from G2. They put that pressure on because of the second round buy. They know the utility is going to be extremely low for the defense, so they force it out, and then it's just easy picking from there, much like this round until Snacks shows up.
Taz did pack his DAX pretty quickly there, and this time at least a little bit of resistance being shown by VP, only on those pistols, of course. Snacks has some armor to work with, and he's able to use that against Existence. He turns around Pasha. Unable to get Smiths there. He had the jump on him there. Some unfortunate little trades happening, but of course Virtus.Pro can't expect too much from this. They have to consolidate themselves for this gun round. Orp being brought up there for Pasha. Remains to be seen whether he'll hold that one at this stage, or we'll go to Neo.
They're going to just do a double up setup right off the bat. Yeah. They're in desperation mode. They have to win this buy, so they go for the big guns right off the bat. Because of that, those two players are a little bit light on utility, but Bialy, Taz, Snacks, they have everything they could want. The only thing missing maybe a Molotov onto Taz. Could have afforded one as well, but either way.
You said they were lacking utility last gun around. They've got it this time, and it's plenty of pressure. The margin for error is not big for Virtus.Pro here, and Neo almost messing things up in a big way there as well. It was Smiths, I think, who just showed himself for the moment, or Existence. And he's going to be able to get away with his life. Snacks again opting to come forward a little bit here. Not so far as E-Box, though, as well. Not confident enough to get in towards Pop Dog and try and cut G2 to the quick. Got to be pretty patient and pretty sensible here for a VP's position.
Yeah, once again, very much like the pistol round, they're playing in old hell. 3 members right behind that train out towards Ivy. They have no eyes on it as well. They don't feel any pressure. It's going to be Taz up top who gets the first kill. There's Bialy as well. They cut down at least the spearhead of this attack.
Yeah, Snacks getting in there as well, as Shocks now just has to try and find a target. He does know that Taz is up the top. Getting that spray down, laid down. Shocks moving forward now, finds Pasha, who's been a bit quiet in the last few rounds. He can't unfortunately get the flick towards Snacks, and Virtus.Pro make the investment, They get the round. They salvage that second AWP as well. They're going to keep 2 of them going. And that train can't stop for anyone.
Yeah, but GT's been able to build up so much money through this. Despite taking some losses against those Deagles of Virtus.Pro a couple rounds, they built up plenty of bank to have a very, very strong buy into this round. They have a double up setup of their own. Existence, actually, I think he's going to stay on a deal. He must have dropped one of those AWPs.
G2 just want to try and cut Virtus.Pro off at the legs now as well. What a time to do it. Really just trying to take any wind out of their sails as it is being built up. Snacks again, always going to be the aggressor here. Like a bulldog, just always forward on that A side.
It is vintage Snacks. At least while they have the utility, the smoke's up on the choke points. He likes to be aggressive behind him, just daring people to run through it.
And conversely, we think back to G2's CT side, and their passive holds were actually what netted them a lot of those rounds here. So Virtus.Pro generally not choosing to play in that particular manner. Last round, I guess we did see Taz sat back in heaven getting some shots down, but Snacks going to be a linchpin here, no doubt about it. And Neo pressing forward here again for this last round. Didn't quite work out, and he's not quite made the shot this time as well. He wants to challenge Smith's time and time again. Pasha with the double straight through Ivy. RPK and Shock's going to be shaking their heads in dismay there as well, and that is definitely going to take a bit of the wind out of G2 here.
Yeah, now Pasha gets even more aggressive out towards Ivy. He's actually pushing all the way forward. He's got to be careful. They're going to catch him, but he dinks Existence. Now he's got one at range. He has smoke to block himself off, and oh, that nade. Is it going to do it? It is going to find Existence, so a 3rd kill for Pasha in this round. With one shot, he essentially ended it with that double. Now Neo chimes in. Pasha can just fall away relatively safely, unless he gets a little bit unlucky through that smoke, but Scream is feeling very lonely.
Yeah, I think Pasha's inner Maverick has been silenced for the moment here, and Scream just has to try and sit tight here, of course. And we do remember, of course, a bit of an investment this round for G2 in getting those guns here. So Scream wants to try and hold on for as long as he can, get some excess, but eventually Taz will cut him to the quick here in Virtus.Pro, get a couple crucial rounds back off the back of that double AWP investment. We can see Pasha can do good work when he has the zoom stick.
And now there's no plant for G2, so they might have been able to force buy a little bit if they'd had a plant that last round, but because they can't, the losing bonus is going to build up, so they're going to save one more. They might invest a little bit on some members who had a bit more money heading in here. Scream and RPK both buy up armor, some Deagles across the board as well. But the money is building. I mean, it's still a little bit hurt. Snacks and Bialy down below 500. If any damage that G2 does here is going to be so critical.
Lack of armor definitely showing for G2 here. It's just RPK and Scream with that. And no utility to work with here. Pasha is always going to be looking towards Ivy here as well. He's either playing it on CT side or T side. It is his home for this map. And last round, he definitely marked his territory in the most brutal way possible. I've just seen Scream's head go past there as well. He's making some peeks. Pasha not able to connect there. Again, looking towards Ivy. He does have a couple of angles he is choosing to watch right now, so he does need to stay on his toes, checking both. It will be a slow play here through from G2. They got a couple of Deagles to work with, but as I said, not a whole lot else.
Yeah, they have no smokes. They have to rely on these Deagles to give him some opening, and Scream's going to be very aggressive, very sneaky. And actually, he's not spotted out immediately. You can't find the kill. There's Bialy and Snacks chiming in. They've locked things down. Even Pasha turns around at the right moment, so this is all gone. Existence, the last one left.
And he'll be struggling to do too much here as well. You can see that they sent Scream in first with all the precision of a surgeon, but even that wasn't enough here.
He had his chance. Yeah. He had a couple shots there. Couldn't land the kill. So now Virtus.Pro making a little bit of a comeback. This is what we said. After that one win, they had to string them together. They had to go on a little bit of a roll here. So they've closed the gap to 10-13. All back out on Smiths, but there's no armor behind it. It's just the AWP. Smoke flash as well. All AKs on the other G2 members.
Virtus.Pro looking to double their wins for this season after 14 of them. 14 games, should I say. So that's big for them, I guess. I don't really know if they're going to be popping champagne bottles after this one, but it'll definitely be a sigh of relief. Still have 6 rounds to go, and it's a bit of a stack here for G2. They are reasonably well armed. The Neo's around the corner. Smith picks off Taz, but Neo will respond. Scream hits the deck, and it does still seem like G2 favor this one, but a Molotov thrown by Neo is going to be the warning sign, and G2 have to slow it down a bit.
Yeah, that kill from Neo does slow everything down. Bialy's rotated over. Existence has actually worked his way out. He's the only one hiding behind the smoke. Virtus.Pro's biting on this. The other G2 members are going to hit the outer bomb train. Snacks looked like he was going to commit over, but Existence is the X factor. If this smoke clears and he's able to find a kill, that's going to throw VP's defense into disarray.
Pasha again in the expected location. I think G2 also aware of that one here. Smith's picked up Bialy here, and Neo is going to be sat on this B site now. It is Smiths and RPK both pressing towards it. Neo has to hold for the next few moments. Snacks has made the rotation, though. It's a 2v1. Should be easily enough. to pick those two off. And now Shox was way out of position. He was sort of trying to do the dance of death with Pasha and Ivy. He was kept there all round, and Pasha will finally end his misery.
The AWP of Neo in this match on both sides of the map has been incredible. Once again, he holds down a really sick hit onto that B bomb site. He was doing work as terrorists on that bomb site as well, just put him into these really, really tough situations. He keeps finding them.
And consistently backing himself to push upper, get behind the box as well. He's been dueling with Smith quite a few rounds. This time, G2 probably tried to exploit that and just get plenty of guys to peek in. Still didn't work out. Neo still somehow comes out with a pick. And now it's only 2 rounds in, and Virtus.Pro on a run. Again, G2 back towards save, and Shox, though, does take the head off Pasha. He'd be really savouring this one, as Pasha's kept him quiet the last few rounds.
Yeah, that one hurts for Pasha. Shox, what a shot. Snax evens things up on a screen, but still there's a big presence towards box halls for G2. They have control of it. It looks like eventually the bomb is going to head its way there. It's all about timing. Taz is the only one here right now. Virtus.Pro keeping 3 members outside. Actually, G2 as well comes down ladder. So maybe Existence is just going to be here to lurk. Snax is going to be the first one under contact. Sprays down the first one, transfers to the second as well.
Well, at least G2 have left the bomb back. Shox could go and pick that one up at some stage or try and make an opening. Another Deagle frag for that man. Bialy hits the deck. Unfortunately, Existence, not having any such luck himself, will be gunned down. And now it is just that 1 round lead. Pasha and Bialy, the only 2 to lose guns. Buying up again. Double AWP still for Virtus.Pro.
Yeah,
really steel walling out here.
They couldn't salvage it, but it's been so effective that they buy right back into it. They know they need it. So Virtus.Pro here, 12-13, about to even things up. And it's been all Scream for the T side for G2. He's been having a great matchup. But they're going to have to come up with something to block off these double ops, because now there's utility behind it as well. So slow strategies are going to be tough to run through Molotovs and choke points. The ops are picking them off at range. Existence is going to have to reach into the strat book to figure this one out.
Yeah, speaking of strats, there's more of a default here for VP. 4 players initially to A, now Neo wraps in towards B, and it was a flash from Taz, and smoke goes up. So just going to keep Shox at bay here. He may even poke that one now as Neo looks towards upper. Let's be a little bit careful. Let's make sure he knows exactly what Taz is looking towards right now. The bomb, however, is gone towards long, and Pasha, the man on your screen, has been very, very good at controlling this very small thoroughfare, and it has been Shox consistently trying to spin his tires to make his way through. Last round it worked out. Got a cheeky little peek towards the head with the Deagle. Pasha not going to make it so easy this time around. Just trying to stall out.
Shox and RPK have put on a little bit of a distraction. They pulled Snax over a 3rd defender at that B bomb site for just a second. Now rotating back, he's got a flash connector to be safe. But Scream, he's got a good position. Can he find one? He takes the battle with Snax. He does win that. There's the opening they needed.
Great pick, and this is going to make Pasha a little bit more nervous as well. He's got 2 players pressuring him at Ivy. Shox on towards Bialy, but the quick response, of course, with the nade from the grave is going to be coming up trumps here, and Pasha opts for the CZ. Gets a kill for himself. Taz shuts down Shox. It's a 3v1 situation. Now Existence has it all to do. At least he has the bomb, but there's 3 big Polish men standing in his way, and Existence will eventually be gunned down. Pasha, he's giving up ground in that area as well. You can see he's more than happy to step back away from Ivy, allow the flash to come in, and he can sort of cover that one a little bit safer.
Yeah, they got the opening they needed. That kill by Scream, he just sneaks out, but everything after that goes the way of Virtus.Pro. I mean, this is kind of that. It's kind of Virtus.Pro and Train that we know. They're so good at closing up these gaps on these outer train yards, and they're so good at attacking them on the other side of the map. You can see here, their mobility on this map is very, very efficient. They know exactly where to rotate. They've always been so good on Train. And now G2, they don't have an answer, so they've got to switch things up a little bit more fast-paced. They sneak 1 or 2 members out into the train yard.
VP relishing the challenge here now. They have brought it even. They're going to be holding on towards this A side, and G2 have committed. They're going to push on towards this one. Not a heck of a lot of utility and players as RPK, Existence, and Scream all fall in short shrift. At least Smiths is able to pick one back up on towards Neo, but Snax around the corner. These are fast-paced rounds here. Shox keeping his team alive, but only 10 health for him. Bomb down at E-Box. Very, very tough to go and pick that one up and stay alive.
Neo's still just wreaking havoc. He's been a beast with his op. Pasha as well has really come alive in this second half. He's still alive and so much range for them to work with. Shox is a minute on the clock, but that's about the only advantage he has. And he's just going to get cleaned out. Snax up above. Shox not prepared for it. So 14-13 Virtus.Pro finally gain the lead in this match.
Snax too far high up in the cupboard to be reached by G2 there. And rough times there for them. It's Virtus.Pro on a bit of a run. You know, Pasha, you said he's sort of come alive here. He did have the unenviable job of having to work the outer, work Ivy on his own.
Yep.
So the multiple times he tried to bounce through and try to do some, some smoke and mirrors tactics, but didn't quite work out. But now I guess he's the other side of the coin. He gets to sit back, gets an AWP, holds that angle.
Been very efficient, and actually now we're seeing the tactical pause at a G2 because they've lost 7 straight to Virtus.Pro. So this has been a really sick run back of the scoreboard for VP. And like for G2, I don't know if they even have an answer right now. This is incredible. Yeah. They can't do anything fast because the Molotovs, the flashbangs, the nade, the utility that Virtus.Pro is able to have because of this huge bank is so effective at slowing down those hits, allows for the rotations to come over in time. And if they work things slow, they don't have anything to really block off the ops. This double op setup is just being so damaging.
I want to point that out because it was since the double ops were brought up for VP that they actually have made this run of rounds here. I mean, what are we seeing different from VP when they have the double op as opposed to not, especially when we talk about Pasha's role?
It's not even as well. The double op is being very, very efficient at just hitting shots, but it starts because the round they switch to the double op is when they get the full losing bonus. So the rest of the members, the other 3 members of Virtus.Pro, can buy all their nades. They buy the smokes and the nades for the choke points. They can slow down those hits. They can force players away from choke points initially. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's not just the double op; it's just everything they have behind it as well.
Honorable mention to Taz as well, who has been the man on the ground there, 23 and 17 for him, of course, off a fairly decent first half, I'd like to think. He has been an unsung hero. We've been seeing the double orbs. We've been seeing them flick him around quicker than Willow Smith's hair, but it's been more about Taz on the ground just doing the brutal work.
Yeah, it's been a quiet 23 kills from outside of like one really explosive round on the T-half. I can't really recall him getting up to this number, so really nicely done. But, I mean, it's pretty spread out affair among Virtus.Pro. The top 3 are all 23, 22, 21 kills, so everyone chiming in.
Sweat starting to bead earlier on for Virtus.Pro in the CT side. Now they've managed to establish after a bit of a shoddy first gun round. Now, there it is, the counter towards Neo. Molotov comes out. He has to give up that position. Can't play as aggressive, but also Taz had pushed himself up. He got flashed. Double Molotov to the one shot. Neo has just got to back away from that one and pretty much just accept that that's gone to waste now as Shocks flash in. Smoke covers up there as well. He's not going to see Taz as he's himself has pushed back on towards the side. So Neo gives up a lot of ground here. Goes back towards Connector and Pasha now as well. Tight angle for him to hold. Does see the peek across, I'm sure, as Smith was tempting fate there a little bit. It's a 2-man stack for G2 again in this part. It's going to be a quickly thrown Molotov here for Pasha just to stall it out further.
Yeah, maybe trying to use that smoke to encroach down alley was G2, but that Molotov from Pasha is perfectly timed. Now he gets the angle. Smith walks right into it. Can't afford that kind of a loss. Smoke comes out to delay him even longer, and he just plays it passive.
A double peek again from G2 to try and deal with Pasha, and last time that happened, he actually got 2 with 1 shot. He got the collateral, as it were. So tough for G2 to make any sort of inroads. RPK, he's going to be able to chime in here. Nice little couple kills on the Tech 9 there. Scream as well, getting onto that site, but Virtus.Pro still going to get the shutdown there as well. And that's G2 now going to match point. Virtus.Pro were looking like they were going to struggle big time after a lost pistol and a lost gun round, but this is getting pretty dire for G2 after, what now, 9 rounds lost in a row? Maybe 8.
Yeah, this is 8.
8.
I mean, still, just so incredible that they haven't had a response to this. This has just been dominant from Virtus.Pro. Once they get the money in their pocket, it's no looking back.
The only adaptation was maybe the double or triple Molotov to try and shut down that position
just to force Neo back, but then they don't really utilize it because they hit the outer bomb train. So they don't take losses inner, but they also don't utilize the position it gains him. Now look at this. Taz is just ruthless. He knows it's fast-paced outside. He's just going to rush down on a quick flank. Actually, he gets spotted out. Scream does the damage, but he dies. He falls to his death.
Yeah, Smith's now going to be perched up on top of the train here as well. Not so proud, unfortunately, Bialy does shut him down. Just 2 players left for G2, and it's Virtus.Pro running rampant now. But Scream and Existence are still alive. They managed to make it the 2v2, and Scream is trying to get the damage desperately towards Snacks. He does get it, but Neo at Connector, he chimes in. It's a 1v1 Existence to keep his team in the game. Has to pick this one up. Neo doesn't know where he is. Existence far better informed about the position of Neo, but you can see him just backing off. He knows the bomb dropped over towards the middle of A side here, and Existence has to go pick that one up himself. Neo going to set himself up with some long angles here as well. Existence very exposed now as he tries to get an A plant.
Yeah, this is the only play Neo really has because he was looking for a rifle to give himself some versatility, but now actually might walk right into the crosshair. Neo's not ready for it though.
Jumps across towards the side. Existence now again knows again when Neo is. He can't rotate and get away, and Existence keeps G2 in it. 15-14. What an important little passage of play there. Neo, no AK, no luck.
That's incredible. Of course, the first round G2 finds is to keep him in this game. But now, I mean, they lose 4 members here, so the buy is not going to be great for them. They do drop an AWP over. They have some utility. Another Galil out on Shocks. Scream doesn't have any utility whatsoever. Smith's is a little bit light as well. But look at Virtus.Pro. Despite that many rounds won in a row, they have no ops this round. They have a FAMAS on Bialy and only a 5-7 on Neo.
I mean, it doesn't get much closer than this. Virtus.Pro go to the most crucial round of the game with the, well, not a great arsenal. In fact, at least G2 have themselves an AWP. Keep your eyes on Smith, and we'll see if he can make an opening. I'll give you the big tip. Neo won't be peeking on towards upper this time around. RPK, nated by his teammate, turns around and says, "You're right there, buddy." We'll pass the bomb over as well. Now you're the bomb bitch for that.
Just for that. Punishment. And this is going to be the big question, because Pasha's been so effective at holding off Ali with that AWP, but now that he doesn't have it, is he going to have the same impact? Shox is going to be here. Smith just falls back.
Hot flash for Snacks. He's going to jump in on this one as well. Risky stuff, and Scream spraying away to his heart's content, but he's not going to come away with the kill. Snacks will gladly take that AK away, and that's Virtus.Pro, again, trying to be proactive here, shutting down Scream. Incredibly clever move from VP.
Oh, there was an opportunity there for Smith to find Bialy on top of the train, but timing doesn't work out. He drops down just fast enough. The big exploit that G2 probably has no idea that they can utilize is existence over towards Ivy. There's no presence there. Pasha's playing it far back.
Well, he doesn't have an AWP, but I guess not confident to try and hold that one with just an M4. Existence very, I guess, carefully, tentatively going down Ivy, but he has made his way through. So now, flank potential. Pasha will be looking towards Existence's direction in a few moments, so he is going to try and set this one up correctly. Pasha flashed out as well. Didn't have a hope in heck of picking that one up, and now Bialy takes down Smith. It's back and forth, though. 3v3 Shox looking a bit worse for wear, but Existence is going to get the work done. Taz walks through the fire and in flames, takes down RPK. The spray down is good. He interrupts the bomb plant. The 1v1 situation now, and Neo just gets a side of Existence. A bomb is down, but it will be defused, and VP take the game away. My God, making us sweat.
Yeah, what an incredible play. It's once again, that's the second time we see Taz just get into that mode where he just says, all right, I'm not losing this. Runs through a Molotov, gets one beautiful shot towards the ladder to let Neo flank down, and even gets the bomb planter immediately after it's planted. So what a sick comeback from Virtus.Pro, and then to just hold on to it there in the end. Beautiful stuff, and Neo, I love watching Neo have good matches.
Absolutely. I mean, also Snacks as well. Great little peek forward in that last round. He caught Scream by surprise, and even the aim master himself couldn't deal with being flashed out in the jump around the corner. Same to be said of Pasha there as well. He had to do something a little bit different that round. It didn't quite work out, but there you have it. Virtus.Pro have doubled their wins this season with one game.
Right.
So they go to, I think, 2-13 here
Something
at this
like
stage.
that. Something crazy.
My God.
Feels bad. But, I mean, that's the thing. When Virtus.Pro, the last couple times we've seen them have these close matches, you think back towards Katowice, they're up like 15-14, and to win the match, they play these really hyper-aggressive plays. Yep. That time it's Snacks pushing in, and it works out for them really, really well.
Oh, exactly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for the first map. Of course, Overpass is coming up, but before we get there, we're going to pass over to our expert desk to put this one under the microscope.